Hey guys, today I thought I'd show you my good old Wildcat 25 caliber and tell you a little bit about her. I call her the Gray Ghost for obvious reasons. This is a 25 caliber Wildcat MKI I original. This is one of the very first Wildcats to arrive at Airguns of Arizona. I had put my name on a list about 3 months early to get one of these. And when I got this rifle, shortly afterwards, JSB came out with the 34 grain pellets, which are these. Actually, they came out with the MKI 33.95. Shortly thereafter, they came out with these MKI 33.95. And so that presented a problem for me, in that the heavier pellets shot much more accurately than the 25 grain JSBs, but they were only going about 790 feet per second. So I took this rifle apart and tried to turn up the FX regulator and ruined it, because you couldn't really turn them up much without causing them to fail. And to make a fairly long story short, a friend of mine that was into field target competition told me about a little company in the Netherlands called U.S.A. that was making regulators for field target rifles, and not even many of those at the time. So I contacted this U.S.A. company and spent about 3 months convincing the owner to make a regulator for my Wildcat. And after going through a couple prototypes, I think it was the third one that worked absolutely perfectly, that I could turn all the way up to 180, 190 bar if I wanted to. I think I've currently got the regulator set at 170, and that's giving me like 900 and some foot per second. Around 62, 63 foot-pounds of energy, if I remember. So anyway, once that worked out for me, I went to the Airgun Nation forum that I had just joined when it first came into being, and I told the whole world about the U.S.A. regulator that I had put in my Wildcat, and told people how I did it. A lot of people didn't want to do it themselves and sent their guns to me to put the U.S.A. regulator in the gun and tune it up for them, which I did. But I also told everyone in many different posts on the forum about how to do it themselves. And subsequently, this really took off, and U.S.A. sold God knows how many of these regulators, and is still selling them today. So it worked out great. I'll tell you a little bit about her. The stock had gotten a little ratty after lots of shooting. The coating on it, that soft touch coating, was kind of wearing off in different places. So being a painter by trade, I naturally decided to go ahead and sand it all down to bare plastic, and primed it a couple times and sanded it down nice and smooth, and painted it with about 5 coats of automotive paint with my little HVLP cup gun. And as you can see, the finish has kind of a glow rather than a shine, which is what I was looking for. I was looking for like a real matte finish. I didn't want a high gloss shine. So my paint store added quite a bit of flattening agent so that I could achieve this sheen. And then just for comfort, you can see I took some well, what do you call it, that contact cement, and I cemented some neoprene on the cheek rest, mainly because I live in South Florida, and like today, it's about 104 degrees, feels like temperature. Humidity is about 90%. And so, you know, when you put your oily, sweaty face on that Delrin plastic, it wants to slip and slide all over the place. Whereas on that soft neoprene, it's just perfect. I buy that neoprene, by the way, from a place called Seattle Fabrics, if you're interested in obtaining some. And as you can see, I put a magazine holder on there. Shortly after these rifles came out, a guy, I think up in North Carolina, invented that magazine holder. And it works absolutely great to hold 3 magazines. For a scope on this, I use this rifle to shoot offhand out to 50 yards, which like today is out there, as you can see. So this is pretty much a point and shoot scope. It's an Athlon 1:8 by 24. It has a, I don't know if this thing will focus or not. Probably not. Anyway, it has a fixed parallax. The parallax is fixed at 50 yards instead of 100. And 8 power is plenty for me to shoot at 50 yards and beyond. On the side here, you can see is your dial for your illumination. All right. And let's see, what else can I tell you about her? Okay, magazines. Here's one of the cool things I did with my magazines. And hopefully this will focus so you can see this. I took a drill and I drilled a little tiny dent, 2 of them, on the magazine right there. And I took a little green nail polish and put it in this one, and a little red nail polish in this one. Let's see if I can put that in my hand and get it to focus correctly. Well, anyway, so that, let's see, let me cock it. When I put my magazine in, when the green dot is showing, like that, I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can. With the green dot right here, that's my first shot. And then as I'm shooting, at a glance, I can look down and see the red dot, and that tells me that's my last shot. And after that, I'll have to change magazines. And let's see, I'll show you how these magazines go in there. They just kind of snap in there. And yeah, I think this is one of the best rifles FX ever made. And with the human regulator, you can turn the reg pressure up to shoot these 34 grain MK1 or MK2 pellets like with laser accuracy. At 50 yards, it'll shoot them all into the same first hole. No joke. So the human regulator allows you to turn up the reg pressure to do that. And along with that, you can see here, hopefully that'll focus. Yeah, let me try it from this side. And out here, there's so much reflection. I don't know if it'll... Anyway, this is a Wicca air gauge. You can see that I replaced the factory gauge with this Wicca. It goes up to 315 bar. You can see I've got the gun filled up to 250 bar. The factory spec is 230 bar, but I always fill it up a hair more and get a couple extra shots, you know. That's up to each person's discretion of how much air they want to put in their gun. So yeah, 250 is completely safe. I don't know what more I can tell you about it than I've got one of the original Huggett silencers on here. This came from the FX factory with one of those like empty can silencers that was just no baffles or nothing inside. And I was one of the very first people to get one of these Huggets in the United States, back long before anyone ever heard of Krail Sightsport in the Netherlands. I discovered them and started ordering things like these Huggett silencers and other things. And at a certain point in time, when certain U.S. distributors and dealers found out about people like me ordering these from Krail and ordering rifles for $500 or $600 less than they were selling them for, they put some kind of political pressure, and that all came to an end, unfortunately. But back in the day when I got this silencer on there, I went on the Gateway to Airguns forum and told the whole world about Krail Sightsport. And I think now they changed their name to Krail and dropped the Sightsport appendage, but yeah, they're still in business. There's just certain things they won't ship to the U.S. on some kind of agreement that they won't compete with these U.S. dealers, which I think is bullshit, but you know, that's capitalism for you. What are you going to say? All right. So, the other thing I was going to tell you before I forget is that this Wildcat MKI has the original smooth twist barrel from FX, so that there was no rifling in this whole barrel. It's just completely smooth bore all the way almost to the tip of the barrel, and just the last couple inches of the barrel was rifled with a certain twist rate And that prevented all of that drag, you know, and all that resistance as the pellets flew down the barrel. There was just no rifling, no resistance. Totally smooth bore. I'll finish up by showing you guys a little secret that I use to get the kind of accuracy that I've been telling you people about for years. And this is it right here. It's called Napier Power Pellet Lube. And let's see, you can see the word Napier there. You can buy this from Napier, U.S.A. It's made in England. And let's see, you get about, let's see, 1 fluid ounce for, I don't know, $14, $15, depending on who you buy it from. It's expensive, but it goes a hell of a long way and will greatly improve your groups, I promise you. I ain't got no stock in this company, and they're not paying me to say this to you. I'm just telling you from my heart that this stuff will tighten up your groups dramatically, and it'll stop a whole lot of those flyers that can just aggravate you to death. All right? So that's the Gray Ghost. Ain't she a beauty? All right, y'all have a good day.